Welcome to Finding Holiness, where we delve into timeless Torah wisdom, revealing the sacred in everyday moments. Join us on a journey to elevate your spirituality and discover holiness in every aspect of life. I'm your host, Rabbi David Kadosh, and together, let's embark on a path of spiritual exploration. I hope you enjoy this next episode. Okay, Erev Tov, everybody. Continuing with the laws of Pesach. Before I begin, just a reminder that after Arvit, I'm giving a shiur on the Parashat HaShavua. Everyone is welcome to stay, since we will be finished at around 8 o'clock tonight. So everyone is welcome to stay. Today's topic is one that is brought up a lot in the poskim, which is that of citric acid. Citric acid. I'm just looking for the page here. Give me a moment. Citric acid is found in a lot of the foods that we consume and eat, and really there's a big divide with regards to whether this is allowed or not. He goes through the opinions, and then he has a long piece that I'll read just a translation in English so that we will get a better idea of what this is. So this is what he says about citric acid. Chometzet limon. Chometzet limon mishtamshim lehata'amat mitzim. It's used for the purpose of giving flavor to juice. Ribot, jams, mamtikim, other sweets. Motzrei mazon shonim. We see it in tomatoes, tomato sauce, diced tomatoes. In the past, they used to extract it from lemons, and from other fruits. Today, it comes a lot from wheat flour. So you would hear that and you would say to yourself, okay, this must be chametz. If it's coming from wheat flour and it's used to provide flavor, it seems to be chametz. Ledat hamatirim, to those who permit citric acid, even though at the beginning of the process we're mixing flour with water and it could be that it becomes chametz. Since at the period while this is going on through the process, the kemach is losing its taste, and its appearance. It becomes invalidated from a dog to eat it. Batel mimenu shem chametz. The name of chametz, the status, the category of chametz becomes batel, becomes nullified. Umutar achar kach le'echol motzarim sheyesh b'hem chometzet limon. And you would be allowed to eat these items that have citric acid. One of the major poskim that allows citric acid is Rav Ovadia Yosef. In Yichav Edat, he brings it down that citric acid is mutar. Leumat zot, on the other side of the argument, you have poskim rabim. Many poskim hechmiru, they are strict. Uldatam rak chametz shenifsal me'achilat kelev machmat shenitkalkel batel mimenu shem chametz. Only chametz that became pasul from the eating of a dog because it's spoiled. That's what makes it. That's what loses the name chametz. Aval chametz shebekavana garmulo sheipasel me'achila, but chametz that you caused in order to spoil. And not on its own. Therefore, so that you purposely spoiled it so that you could use it for your food. Eno batel, that does not become batel, does not become nullified. And therefore, its law is like chametz according to everything. Now, there are some Sephardic poskim that hold like this, or Letzion holds like this as well. Ulam, harav sha'ar Yashuv Kohen. The Rav Shaul Yashuv Kohen, Rabbah Shel Ha'ir Haifa, Badak, he made a very big investigation. Umatza she'en bechometzet limon kol chashash chametz. He goes, you will not find any chashash, any worry of chametz with citric acid. Number one, Reshit, hakemach shemimenu matchilim et ta'anich elo machmitz. The flour that you're starting the process does not become chametz. Ve'av sheme'arvim oto b'mayim, even though you're mixing with water, kevan she'akemach shohe b'mayim 6 dakot bilvad eno maspik lachmitz. It's only there 6 minutes, and we know 18 minutes is what makes flour and water chametz. Only there 6. Le'achar miken, after that, מפרידים את העמילן שהוא אחד החומרים שבקמח. After that, we separate the starch, that is one of the ingredients in the oil. והעמילן לבדו אינו יכול להחמיץ, and that starch on its own cannot make something חמץ. בנוסף לכך, חומצת הלימון אינה נוצרת מהעמילן עצמו. Turns out that the citric acid is not produced from the wheat starch itself, אלא מפטריות שניזונות מחומר שאחד ממרכיביו הוא אותו חומר שהופק מהעמילן של ההחמיץ. But rather it's from the molds that feed off a substance whose ingredients include a material extracted from the unleavened starch. Okay? Now, he does have a very large note over here that I want to just translate here. I found a translation already prepared, so I don't have to read the Hebrew and the English. I'm just going to read for you the English. And he says the following. This debate is very extensive, and the key questions are, is something that was batel b'shishim before Pesach, chozer v'neor, once Pesach begins. So again, chozer v'neor, if something was nullified before Pesach, do I say that on Pesach it reawakens, and now I don't look at it as it is nullified, and therefore it would be chametz? Even if not, would a stabilizing agent, it's called davar hama'amid, be any different? And what if it is not the sole agent? So the Badatz, the Bet Din Tzedek, and many other kosher certification agencies, among many here in North America, are very strict about citric acid and similar products. However, according to Rav Sha'ar Yashuv Kohen's long essay, it seems clear that there is no reason for concern that citric acid contains chametz. More precisely, the starch is first separated from the gluten by spinning the wheat flour in water for 6 minutes. As we know, it takes 18 minutes for flour and water to become chametz, so the flour could not have become chametz in those 6 minutes. By then, the starch, which has already been separated from the gluten, cannot become chametz because the gluten is the substance within the flour where the leavening takes place. Without gluten, starch cannot become chametz. That's a rule. That's the rule of how gluten works. The starch is then heated to 140 degrees Celsius until it liquefies as glucose. This heating process destroys the existing molecules and changes their composition. To dispel any doubt, an attempt was made to leaven this substance, but it was unsuccessful. The liquid dextrose that's glucose, is then mixed with sulfur to destroy the enzymes in it and render it inert and unable to ferment. Since it never had the chance to become chametz, it certainly will not become chametz in the future. This is the first stage of the process, which shows that the extracted starch does not become chametz. The next step is to place the liquid into large vats to feed the molds. It is left until the mold has finished digesting all of the dextrose and excreted another substance that's called citric acid. So citric acid is not a product of the starch, but a product of the mold. Just as if one used organic fertilizer that contained remnants of bread to fertilize vegetables, the vegetables would undoubtedly be kosher for Pesach, certainly citric acid excreted by molds that digested a liquid that never became chametz in the first place would be kosher for Pesach. This conclusion has major implications for other industrial ingredients that use wheat starch that never became chametz and that undergoes fundamental alterations before being reintegrated into food. All right, so there's the essay, and there are many kashrut agencies that hold citric acid is not kasher lePesach. So I always tell people, study how citric acid works. You clearly see that citric acid is not even made chametz in the first place. But many of the agencies, they see wheat, they see the word chita, and then they go crazy, right? And they go, okay, we got flour and we got water, it must be chametz. But what can I say? I hold citric acid is not chametz based on doing the studying, the research. But again, every person should follow their own local rabbi. Okay, yafeh. Next topic: sabonim וקוסמטיקה. נחלקו הפוסקים בשאלה מה דין מוצרים שנועדו לשיחת הגוף שמעורב בהם חמץ. The poskim also disagree with regards to items that you use for your body that could be mixed with chametz. Haim yesh leosram bepesach? Do we forbid these items on Pesach? Ve'omnam en krem o sabon ha'asui mechametz. It's not that it's made with chametz. Ela she'itim me'arevim besabonim o beshampoo o bekremim shonim alcohol ha'asui mechita. Sometimes in these soaps, in these shampoos, in these creams, you have wheat alcohol that that is involved. Or chomarim acherim shufku mechametz, or certain things that were extracted from chametz. Ve'ashela ma dinam. And the question is, what is their law? So you see a lot of colognes and perfumes, all these things that we put on our body. What is the law with regards to them, assuming that they have wheat alcohol? If they don't have anything of wheat alcohol, then there's nothing to talk about for sure. But let's say they do. Yesh omrim, there are those who say, shemidivrei chachamim sicha asura kishtiyah, that according to the rabbis, that putting something on your body, anointing or rubbing things in your body is equivalent to drinking. V'lachen, gam im hachametz eno ra'ui lema'achal kelev, even though the chametz cannot be eaten by a dog, kevan shu ra'ui lesicha, adayin shem chametz alav ve'asur lishtamesh bo b'pesach. Since it is, you're able to anoint and rub this on your body, it has a name of chametz, and therefore you can't use it on Pesach. ולכן צריך להשתמש בפסח בסבונים, בשמפו, קרמים, כשרים לפסח. You need to make sure that your soaps and your shampoos and your creams are kosher for Passover, according to one side. ויש אומרים, there are those who say, שמה שאמרו חז"ל ששיחה כשתייה, when the Chachamim said that rubbing of creams on your skin, that's called שיחה, is equivalent to drinking, אמרו רק לגבי איסור שיחה ביום הכיפורים. That's only with regard to Yom Kippur, v'shemen teruma, and the oils of teruma. Aval shara devarim she'asra Torah, but the other things that the Torah prohibited, asurim b'achila v'lo b'sicha. It's only with actual eating, but not with sicha. Ve'av she'achametz asur b'ana'ah, and even though the chametz you cannot have benefit from, kevan shelifnei pesach nifsal miyot ra'ui lemachal kelev, since it was inedible by a dog from before Pesach, and alav yoter shem chametz, it does not have the name, the title of chametz on it anymore. And you would be allowed to use these shampoos, use these soaps, and these creams. Since we are dealing with a doubt on a rabbinical matter, the law is that you are mekil, and you could use these items. Those people that want to be meudar and they're machmir, okay, good for them. ויש להבדיל בין 4 דרגות של אפשרות תערובת חמץ, ורק בשתיים האמצעיות ישנה מחלוקת. He divides all these things into 4 categories, and the middle 2 are the ones with מחלוקת. The first one is the most strict, he says, במשחת שיניים חייבים להקפיד על כשרות פסח. Toothpaste, you have to make sure that it's kosher לפסח. For us, we Sfaradim, there is really nothing in the toothpaste that could be a problem, but he says you have to just make sure. Since there's an actual taste to your toothpaste, that's number 1. Number 2, krem shenispag baguf. This is your body creams, body lotions, or svaton belo ta'am, lip gloss without a taste. Ubesamim sheyesh b'hem alcohol, or perfume or cologne that has alcohol. Halacha kemekel shenam sichim kashrut. Like we just said, the halacha is you are mekil. We don't need a kashrut. Ki enam reuim la'achila, because they are not made for eating. Ve'af hametziut shebedech klal em me'arvim b'hem devar chametz. And besides the fact, most of the time you won't even find chametz in these things. Omnam rabim noagim la'achmir liknot kremim ubesamim sheyesh alem kashrut lePesach. There are those people that make sure to buy these things kasher lePesach. That's the second category. The third category, sabon v'shampoo, that's soap and shampoo. Again, kevan shenoadu lenikui velo kedei leisapek baguf, since these things are anyways just used for your hair and for cleanliness and not to be absorbed in your body, yesh yoter makom le'akel. In these situations, for sure you would be allowed to be mekil, ve'af al pi ken yesh machmirim, and even, but here too you have some people who are machmir. Chomre nikui, these are cleaning products. This is the 4th category. For example, mishchat na'alaim, you have your shoe polish, or bekadome, or other things that you use around the house. Enam tzerichim shum hashgacha. You don't need any hashgacha on these things. All these people that put hashgacha on cleaning products, they're stealing your money. You don't need to have any hashgacha ever on a cleaning product. Ve'af chomre nikui they're smart businessmen though, but they're stealing your money. Ve'af chomre nikui lekelim enam tzrichim hashgacha. Mishum shetamam pagum, even though these things don't require hashgacha because their taste is pagum, spoiled. Ve'af imarvu b'hem chametz, and even if they put chametz there, ta'amo nifkam lifnei haPesach, that ta'am has been spoiled from before Pesach. Ve'eno nechshav yoter chametz klal, and it does not have the status of chametz whatsoever. So that concludes a very, very informative chapter of Hilchot Kashrut LePesach. We talked about a few things. If you want to hear the previous things we talked about, you can go online and listen to it. But Baruch Hashem, looks like we'll continue with a new topic next week.